Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis IV with me, Alpha Pi Omega, Meiou Taxes 3.0 and Novgorod. So the date is 14th of January 1430 and we are very close to being able to build the capital level 1 in Veliki Novgorod. However, before that we need to go over a couple of basics. First of all, we can now take the new technology called full-rigged ships. So let's do that. It's going to give us a global trade power plus 20% for the next 10 years. Square sails used in the north had the advantage of power, while lateen sails used in the south were highly maneuverable and relied less on the wind blowing in the right direction. As ships grew larger, some began to carry both square and lateen sails in order to take advantage of the wind while it was favorable, and to continue sailing when it was not. These full-rigged ships soon came to dominate both northern and southern waters. So, naval morale increased by 0.25 and naval force limits modifier increased by plus 3%. Still can get more ships though. Anyway, the things that I wanted to speak about today is that, as I mentioned, we have a new candidate. This guy is a silver-tongued knyaz, all-around great guy. However, he's a bit old. So he wants his legacy to be the start of the reform of Novgorod. So we are going to build a capital building in Veliki Novgorod. We are going to start working on this, taking away the power from the nobles and in increasing the power of the bureaucracy, but one step at a time. First of all, we need to build the capital building, so that's going to be the first thing that we're gonna do. Next, we are going to deal with the nobles. The bureaucrats are starting to be fairly favorable to us. Provincial corruption is dropping significantly, so we need to take an advantage of that. However, the stability we're losing, we're probably going to drop to 0 once we do some of the reforms, but you know, that's always there. What can you do? There's not much you can do with that. As far as trade goes, we're not going to do much there. Things are looking good. But I'd like to point out that we are done with Muscovy for now. Unless we catch them doing shit, or unless they threaten us or something happens with them, we have dealt with them. The old knyaz that was so mad at them because they attacked us and plundered our lands is dead. And the new one is more of a diplomat. So even though he finished the war and took away Nizhny Novgorod and Tver, he is going to let the rest of Muscovy breathe, and he's going to focus on the expansion to the east and to the bureaucracy reform. This also means that after we have suppressed the rebels in the Great Perm area, we are going to reform the army a bit. Okay, we don't have to. We can now have 9 units. Okay, so they're marching back, and when we have the amount that we need for this province, which is construct building, raise garrison by rank 1. Oh, okay, I still have it for select all provinces. Select individually, create selected, select here, and construct building. We don't want that. Design project, improve infrastructure, and we want the capital. Rank 1 would be 1,000 gold. Just wondering, if we wanted rank 2, how much would that be? 1,590. Oh god, that's actually really tempting to wait for the level 2. How long would it take? We're getting about 7.21 gold per month. So that's about roughly 80 gold per year. So it would take between 5 years and a decade to get that. That is really tempting, rather than, you know, just... I think that this does not work right. Yeah, that does not help. It's not implemented yet. 1,500, well... Our knyaz will think about that. That's all I can say now. It is 14th of August, 1430, and we have, quite interestingly, the ability to take another naval idea, which is called naval training, and gives us, pardon me, a bonus of +1 to leader maneuver. It's actually kind of cool. So we have only a couple left to go, and the next one is the most interesting one, which gives us a naval force limit of flat +3, lowest shipbuilding speed, and increases global ship repair by 5. I can't wait for that one to come. I also can't wait to get level 16 in administrative power, though actually it's very expensive. I'll have to wait. And the next one will actually give us Caravel, the next diplomatic technology, so that's actually pretty cool. Plus the war gala, extra trade range, and global settler increase. Now, one thing that I wanted to go through with you here is we are going to start on the reform. Knyaz Roman IV Rurikovich actually thought of it, and he decided to go as follows. He will hold a grand celebration on the victory over Muscovy, which will increase the nobles' loyalty to 67, while at the very same time he is going to demote the great nobles, which will make them lose a bit of power every year. That's gonna tank our stability, and it's also going to probably start roughly increasing the provincial corruption. But that's okay, you know, we can deal with that. There are some other things that we could take, but most of them increase the power of the nobles, and we don't want that. Instead, what I decided we are going to do is we are going to support the bureaucracy and expand it, which is going to give us extra 5 state reach in 10 years. But it gives us a bit of corruption, unfortunately, and it's going to kill our progress towards the next stability. But what can you do? That's the important part. Second, I have went around and thought of that, and we are going to construct capital level 2. It's going to be done this way. We actually have an only 2% interest per year on loan as a republic. Or, you know, for some reason the base has been lowered from 9, I believe, to 2. So that is super good. And we can basically take a loan for 9 extra gold in 5 years. So I think this is actually quite suitable. We can take a bunch of these loans and invest those in the new building that we want to build. This is going to be enough. So we now have 8 loans, but that is okay, you know, we don't mind. And we are going to construct the building in Veliki Novgorod. So let's construct the project. It's going to start here, and yes, we're building, oh, actually they're building the harbor bridge. It should be done in 2 months, and we're building the capital rank 2, which is going to be done in 24 months. Now, the legacy of Knyaz Roman IV Rurikovich will be perfect. You know, it will be felt across the realm, because the state reach and the centralization and also the communication efficiency will greatly increase. So we'll see how that's gonna work. Most of us will see it on the capital and the surrounding provinces, but I expect that we might even see some other, like Zavoloshiye. Well, no, probably not Zavoloshiye, but some other ones might actually benefit from this. So, what are we going to do now? Well, not much. We are just going to chill. And when we are done with accumulating 90... I actually don't know how much we need to repay. 106. So all of the money will now go to repaying the loans. You can see that we're only paying 1.28 extra, which is not that much. It's a steep increase right now. But I believe that overall this is going to help because we can afford it. The communication efficiency will increase. The stability will start to fall. The autonomy will start to fall. We're gonna get more manpower, more, taxes and everything from our empire as we have a better communication efficiency and can invest our administrative, diplomatic, and military power better. So that's awesome. Kama is now part of our state. We have managed to core it, which is awesome. However, bad news. Our stability is sinking, and the corruption of the bureaucrats just continues, unfortunately. Plus, the stability is decreasing even more. I had to concede some things to the nobles, the old privileges, which is lowering our centralization effort, and it's taking a bit of my prestige away. But this all comes to play because of the nobles and because I really want them above 50. I was considering maybe sucking up to the burghers, but there's not much I can do here. I could maybe provide tax relief. Exempts the burghers from all commerce fees for 5 years. I don't know how much we're getting from that, so that's a problem. And I don't want to... Well, you know what, we could promote and support commerce, because that does not really give us much trouble. It increases the relations between metropolitan and state. We get extra commerce production efficiency. We get less trade, but commerce production is increased and burghers' loyalty is increased. So that's one that I would like. So let's get that. Our tank will trade a bit, but it's all in favor of the state. You know, we need the stability to increase. And you can see that the state reach is now increasing as we have invested in it. And unfortunately, the provincial corruption is also increasing as we have pissed off the nobles. But we'll see. We should see their power drop to somewhere like 66, maybe somewhere around those lines. And I'll continue dropping it if I can. I don't know what the cooldown is on the actual events that you can trigger with the estates. I expect it's 10 years maybe, or 5 years as it was before. So if I can spawn this every couple of years, I can hopefully get the nobles' power into relatively safe numbers very soon. We'll see. Man, Tunis is getting wrecked by Fez. Fez is becoming a local powerhouse quickly, which is kind of interesting to see. Castile nor Aragon are trying to penetrate there, and England is, still holding Aquitaine, because Burgundy is spreading. Actually, they conquered parts of the lowland countries. This is really interesting to see. The history is unfolding quite differently. As far as the Ottomans go, they conquered more territories and now they're nomming on Wallachia, which is kind of interesting to see as well. Oh my god, those are the knights? Oh dear lord, look at that! They conquered like quarter of Anatolia, or maybe one, but 1/8 of Anatolia. That is massive. Never seen that happen before. Holy hell. And we can now see most of the Jayairids. We can see parts of Timurids, Sarbadar, which I don't know. I never seen that nation before. It's an emirate. Interesting. And we get Fars. Interesting to see Europe from a different vantage point. We can see all of Bashkiria, Kazan, Blue Horde, and Lithuania spreading like a blob everywhere. Our relations with them are good, but only at the expense of us keeping diplomats there full time. Anyway, I already repaid one of the loans. We are getting very close to repaying the second one, which is kind of cool, We have huge inflation though. I will need to get rid of it. I think there's no harm in that, so let's just reduce it now. Let's actually reduce it to 1.1. That's much better. Not that we would be getting that much, but yeah. We have to wait for the humanism and for the next technology anyway, because we are way ahead of time there, so yeah. We are finishing the last course. Sisola will be cored next, Cherdyn will be cored next, and after that Nizhny Novgorod and Tver. So things are looking very nice for us. And the overextension increases stability, it gives 0 corruption and lowers the autonomy. Okay, so it does not seem like it's much of a problem in this version, but I guess it gives you hidden modifiers that are not listed there. Probably lower state reach and stuff like that. The bureaucratic window is quite interesting. We're bleeding on stability points, unfortunately, which is sad, even though that we have everyone above 50%. But the state reach is increasing and the provincial corruption has slowed down to a crawl, so we'll probably stop at somewhere like 65, maybe 66. We'll see. The national income is increasing, which is good, and yeah, I'm kind of happy. I still can't, or can I? No, I still can't get the grand celebration or anything else, so the situation is as it is. We're at -1 stability, unfortunately. But hey, what can you do? We could start converting, but due to the instability, we have quite big penalties here. Plus the separatism is making everything harder for us. So we'll have to wait a bit before we start spreading the true faith in the east. But once we get rid of the stability penalty, and once we... there was one more. Oh, once the separatism dies down, we'll be okay. We have a big problem with the rebels, though. They're not major, but they'll be going up very fast, so that's going to be an issue. Now, I'm interested in seeing if this affects everything here. No, I don't see coring giving that, but I wouldn't really be surprised if it increased taxes and stuff like that. Not entirely sure. Are we still getting... yeah, we're getting the war operations from Muscovy. We caught them building up spy network in our territory again, but I would hardly call that a reason to attack them. Tver would not accept vassalization, but mostly because we own some of their provinces. And they're allied with Lithuania and Nizhny Novgorod, so attacking them is not possible. However, their province is of very little importance for us. As far as Rostov and Suzdal go, I like Nizhny Novgorod, so I won't really deal with them. Oh, Sweden is trying some shit again. I wonder how long they'll do that before I decide to make a small incursion into their territory. Though they're probably allied with... oh, Norway and Mazovia. I have a feeling that we could take them, but you know, the Republic, just chill, people. Chill. Things are looking fairly good. I think we'll be able to repay a loan very soon. Yeah, 101, so next month. How's the construction going? Did we finish the irrigation? Yes, the irrigation has been finished and we are working on the capital. So 16, whatever that is, I don't think it's months. That probably would not work, but, oh, would it? Let's speed it up and check. Because I noticed it does not work. Maybe there's a hidden timer when you need to buy some goods and stuff, and then it just starts the construction. I'm not entirely sure. No, it's still 16. It's March. So maybe it's like 16 batches of some goods that they need to acquire or something. Okay, March is over. Yeah, it's well, maybe it updates just from time to time, and it's not like completely relevant to whatever you're doing. Macho arquebuses, damn, we are behind time, but I want the skilled. I want the skilled shipwrights. Let's check the technology. I want to see how we're doing. We're still doing great compared to everyone around us. So I think we can focus on the naval a bit more and just finish it. Ships can repair in coastal zone, that's very powerful. This one though, the skilled shipwrights is the most powerful one, so we're gonna get that one and then start focusing on the matchwork arquebuses again. Oh, and you are starting to get slightly better. I guess the separatism is going away. So let's start with... Hey, Children has been taken. Okay, so that means just the two of you. Children probably has unrest. No. Okay, so what's the problem? Negative stability, religious unity, non-accepted culture. Oh, the separatism is very high. Okay. So let's... get Moscow. Let's go ahead and start converting. Oh, no, that's actually very expensive. I don't think we want to do that. Let's wait for the conditions to get slightly better. But hey, we can... Yeah, let's make a state here. And... Oh, sure, let's score them. Score them. Though I'm not entirely sure how that affects Permi's estate. I should have checked that. I believe that's gonna, again, lower the amount you need to expand to tax the territory. As, you know, with everything in this iteration of Meiou Taxes. It's August 1444 and we can now take the skilled shipwrights idea. Naval strategy is build strategy. A strong navy starts on land with the best carpenters the nation has to offer. So naval force summit increased by 3, shipbuilding time lowered by 5%, and global ship repair increased by 5%. Now does this flat bonus work? It does. So that is awesome. We can now build 3 extra ships. But we are not going to do that yet. I'm hoping that I might still be able to repay at least one more loan. It expires next year. Okay, I think I'll be able to repay one more loan. And at that point, we are going to have to retake the 3 others, which sucks because they're going to boost the inflation again. I did not realize that that would be the case. But hey, you know, at least the legacy of our Knyaz is living. The autonomy is still not decreasing or anything because, well, actually it is decreasing slightly, but I'm not sure why, what the difference is at this point. Maybe there's an upgraded... Oh yeah, wait, we had the increase in harborage in our capital. That makes sense. So everywhere the autonomy is increasing, we're still constructing the capital there, or capital. There's still 16 written next to it. I don't know. It paused in Vyatka when we were building the fort as well, and, you know, it just got constructed later on. So I guess we just have to be patient. Not much I can do. As far as the situation of the state, we are doing slightly better. The stability is dropping by a small smidgen, but we are very close to decrease in stability, so I'm hoping that is not going to drop to -2. That would be painful. But the state reach is increasing really nicely. We're at 20.52, and the provincial corruption is almost not increasing, and it's at 64. National income has definitely increased to 144. It was 120 when we started with this. And the nobles are kind of appeased. However, I still can't support the nobility in any way. So further drop in their power will have to wait a bit. But they're at 69 right now, and they ought to drop a couple more points within the next couple of years. After which we will hopefully be able to repeat the process. This time hopefully with not such a bad stability situation, but maybe even if it comes to that, it will be fine. The corruption we got from the bureaucrats has gone away though, so it's back to 15 now. Interesting. Well, anyway, I guess that's all for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one where we continue with the slight reform of Novgorod, led by our Knyaz Roman IV Rurikovich.